everybody, Zach again, newtutorial.com, coming in, making a video for you today. I'm someone who doesn't like to admit when I'm wrong, but I can do it. I can do it when I'm wrong. I will admit when I'm wrong. So this whole Christmas thing. A few years ago, I made a video and I told people, I said, Christmas is not the best time to tell people about the origins of Christmas. Christmas is not the best time to tell them about what they're doing, what they're practicing during Christmas is wrong. It's not the best time to tell them because they're so into the gifts and into the festivities of it all. And I was wrong. I was absolutely, you learn through experience, you learn through time, and practice. And so, I was weighing just what little, experience I had, a few years ago. I don't know, what's that, 4 years ago, whatever, I made that video talking about that. And then, number of years later, I'm looking at, this time of year and how it's progressed and the emails I get and just, more experience. And I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. So really, the best time to tell people about the error of Christmas, the lawlessness of Christmas, the origins of Christmas, is during Christmas. Same with Easter. The best time to tell people about what the whole spring equinox and carnival and all of the pagan traditions that go along with that, basically mostly sex related, the best time to tell people about that is during Easter. Christmas and Easter. I was wrong, and so the reason I know that now is because I've gauged over the years the interest and, I get lots of emails. I get so many emails now, guys, I can't even begin to try to respond to all of them. But, when I go through and I scan the emails, so many people email and they're like, Zach, I'm so grateful to finally learn, some of this truth about the history of some of these holidays. And they're not found anywhere in my Bible. I just never thought of that. I never even looked and understood that they weren't in my Bible. And then I learned their origins and the practices that these people used to worship and how they worship their gods and their sun gods and how everything was agriculture based. And they say, Zach, I get it now. I get it. And so thank you. And they thank other ministries who are doing the same thing. And I get those emails. Most of those emails come in during the holidays. When you're out there constantly hammering people and telling people, hey, the stuff what you're doing is wrong. It's linked to pagan idolatry. So, it's just, and I know there's even some people out there who they don't like to offend people because I know in our PC culture today, it's very hard to offend people. It's wrong to offend people, but I'm saying that they need to be offended. Because being offended is the first step to understanding of what they're doing. They can go back and they can, on their own time, they can go back and try to figure out, is there any merit to it? Because here's the deal. When someone insults you for doing something, you may immediately rebuke that person, but there's going to be a time when you go back and you chew on what that person said to you. And you're going to ask yourself, is he right? Was that person right? Let me go look. Let me go just Google, origins of Christmas. And they start reading and they start learning and boom, some of them gain that understanding and then they start walking out truth and they start going back to their Bible and looking, is Christmas even mentioned in this Bible? No, it's not. I was wrong. The best time to, talk to people and push the meanings of these Christmas traditions and Easter traditions is during those holidays. Absolutely wrong. One of my favorite texts I always use is that Ovid one, 2,000 years old. Let's take a look. It's by Ovid the poet, okay? And he says, in all the throng, the cone-shaped cypress came. A tree now, it was changed from a dear youth, and loved by the god who strings the lyre and the bow. Okay? It's loved by a god. What is? The fir tree. This cone-shaped fir tree. And it's loved by a god who strings the lyre and the bow. Why is it loved by who is this god who strings the lyre and the bow? It's Apollo, the sun god. Okay, and there were they went by many names. Many different cultures had different names for these gods, these sun gods especially. But here is a 2,000-year-old text that showed, that linked together a cone-shaped cypress, Christmas tree basically, and the sun god, Apollo. I mean, there's so much evidence out there. Guys, here's the deal. So there's a new documentary that's being put together. It's going to be released in December of 2019, okay? And again, the best time to talk to people about Christmas is at Christmas time. The best time to tell people about the origins, the pagan origins, the agricultural sun god worship origins of these holidays is during these holidays. And so 119 Ministries and Align the Stars Media, the same people who put together the Way documentary, are teaming up together to put together this documentary on the origins of Christmas, the Christmas question. They're gonna examine the practices, all of the history of Christmas. And is it something that our Father wants us to participate in? Or is there something else that we see the people in the Bible doing? Is there something else that we see our Messiah's disciples doing? Yes. Here's what they're doing. Here's why they weren't doing this that people are doing today. So you can support this project. Right now, they're almost funded. I think they're like over 90% funded. So here's what I'm asking you to do. I want you to go to thechristmasquestion.com, link in the description below, /get involved. That's where you can get involved. You can go get involved and you can help fund this project. I myself have done it. I donated $100. You guys can go in there and donate $5, $10, doesn't matter. But try to get involved in the project and just give a little to help them push them over the goal. I want them to get so far over that goal that they can, make this the most spectacular documentary they've ever made. I have high hopes for it because I know that when you release this truth, even though it offends people, I know it offends people, but I don't care because they need to be offended. The God of heaven and earth is offended about how his creation is worshiping him right now. And see, once we learn the truth of how our Father really wants us to worship him, we can begin to repent and turn from sin and correct our ways and walk in the ways he tells us to walk in. So very important, the Christmas question. Coming out December 2019, now is the time to get involved. They're filming right now. They're in the middle of completing this project. You need to get involved. We want this to be spectacular. And so I would ask you to go ahead and, because I'm not in this for myself. I don't even have a PayPal button on my website. I'm not in this to make a living. I'm not in this for a career. I'm in this for the kingdom because I know my treasures are going to be there. I don't have to, I promote who I see is doing good in the kingdom. And they're not paying me they didn't ask me to promote this, but I see it as working. I see it as effective. And my only goal is the kingdom. So that's why I'm asking you to get involved. Okay. So check it out. It's going to be thechristmasquestion.com/get involved. Get involved. Donate right now. Let's get this project fully funded. All right. We'll leave it at that. Go home, read your Bible. Thanks.